first complete budget year, or at least allocation year for ASCII and the operations under county auspices. As we look at ASCII at the current configuration and what changes you've made, what I've heard from people is that they think it's losing money now and it's only going to get worse. Can you kind of bring us up to date on, is it losing money now, and where the county thinks this is going to go from this point?
Well, what we've seen in the actuals and the audits from the Adventure Sports Center, that it makes money, a little bit of money. It's solvent except for the debt. The debt's been addressed. Now we need to look at a very specific budget that addresses estimated revenue and the expenses that go along with that. We have looked at that very much in detail. A very specific and itemized budget is being prepared. Our finance staff is doing that. We've gone back through history. We've gone through visitors to the site, costs, those types of things, and we will have an answer on that. What indications are when we took this over was it is solvent except for the debt. A lot of that, again, is based upon the weather. A lot is based upon a lot of other unknown factors that you can't control. But I think when the commissioners decided to exercise jurisdiction over ASCII, there was enough information there that it is solvent. It is not necessarily profitable, but it does hold itself up, and that's how the decision was made based upon that. We will have a better situation on that when we have a better budget. And not being critical of what was in the past, but it was really hit and miss on a lot of things. We'll be more specific, more detailed, more oversight, those type of things. And we do have an obligation. The commissioners have said they will be very open on the operations, on the finances, and we want to make sure that's in line. And we're very positive and confident that it's going to be put together the right way and run consistent with other county policies as far as the expenditure of funds. Our employees are going to adhere to certain rules and regulations. That actually wasn't the case in the past, and it's going to be run just like any other county office.
Weather permitting, can this make more money, do you think?
I think when we looked last year, and what we were presented was there was a I think $85,000-$90,000 profit there, if you want to call it a profit. We'll just call it, for better lack, we'll call it their revenue over expenses. What we need to do, and a lot of people have voiced their opinion on this, and we're going to assure that that's there, is that there's money in an account. It's part of the operation budget that is there for maintenance, and there's there for the unknown factors, that if a certain pump goes out or there's something that needs to be taken care of as far as the operation and maintenance, that there'll be funds directed for that. And I don't believe that was there in the past, at least according to Joe Schroyer, who is our main man down there, director of operations, and he's been a big part of putting together a very good budget. Now, he was gone last year. He was not here for the last season. He worked ever since the place opened up. He was not here last year, and he's piecing together some of the things I think that were neglected during his time off.
Is there a plan to get the county away from ASCII after it stabilizes, or has that bridge even been approached?
I don't think it's really been approached. It's certainly, in my mind, personally, I believe. And again, the main goal of ASCII was to get, it was a very valuable, a lot of money went into that to keep it going. And I don't think we understand, or a lot of people don't understand, because I know I don't, what the impact of these Deep Creek 2014 World Games is going to be. That is going to bring a lot of notoriety, a lot of interest into the county. I know that the organizing committee for 2014 are meeting with sponsors. They've had some discussions with some pretty big companies that get into the to that type of venue as far as becoming sponsors. And I believe once after those games are taking place and it's more known and those type of things, some private entity is going to come in and take that. I think it's a very valuable commodity, a very valuable asset, and that's going to happen. But the commissioners, under some short time frame, and that's what I think gets confused in through the whole process. They were criticized for not holding open meetings and discussing all that. There was a very short time frame there to get the thing open this year or to close it. There are a lot of legal properties or legal issues to go about, and we had to do that, and those were done with our county attorney, with a lot of finance references and all that was all put together. And again, what happened, the board of directors of ASCII are the ones that actually asked the county to take this over. They actually did that back in January. So between January and April, when the decision was finalized, there was a lot of time spent trying to figure out what was the best thing to do, and a lot of pros and cons on it, but the decision was made, and that's what we're going to go with.
Well, one of the options I hear coming through in that is that you could have left it just shut down for the year and then try to figure things out from there. Why not?
Well, they could have. That was one of the options, but the decision was to go ahead and proceed, that we could get it open.
Would it have been harmed irreparably by having it shut down for 2012?
Well, probably so. I think the whole key was getting the right people down there to do the job, and I think that we were able to have, ASCII was able to hire back Joe Schroyer. I think he's going to be a big part of that. I think that having the finance part of that overseen by our finance department's a big thing. So it certainly was an option. I mean, I don't know specifically to tell you, was that something that the county was going to say, let it sit a year and then think about it? That was maybe brought up, but I think it needed to proceed, and that was the decision that was made.